ready for prime time on the web.
How can we do everything a little faster? Okay, a lot faster.
When they're looking for answers, more CIOs, more webmasters, more people, look to Compaq than to any other computer company in the world.
Limits? What limits?
Compaq. Better answers.
That's a Fullerton suspension bridge. The strength-to-weight ratio of those arches is 1,000 to 1. And the support cables are tungsten wrapped with zirconium flex plates. They'll easily support the weight of this bus.
Okay, so what are you, some kind of structural engineer?
No, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
It began as the product of meticulous Japanese design, but it was sent to Europe for finishing school. It was tested on Austria's Alpine roads, refined on Germany's Autobahns, and chased on England's racetracks. Now the car that's proven itself in Europe is crossing the pond. Introducing the all-new 99 Infiniti G20. Born in Japan, educated in Europe, now available in America.
The critics have found Lost and Found.
What?
It's hip, edgy, and howlingly funny.
That's incredible.
A laughter-rich original comedy.
Get it? Got it? Good.
I want to be exactly like you, boss.
Oh, no, it's single white female.
A romantic comedy, David Spade style.
Oh, it's got to sting a little bit.
David Spade, Sophie Marceau.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
Lost and Found.
I'll go make the bed.
Rated PG-13. Sneak preview April 17th, starts April 23rd.
Welcome back to the 64th NFL Draft in New York. And if you tuned in late, first of all, don't ever let it happen again. Second of all, what a story we had at the top of the draft. Quarterbacks going 1, 2, 3 with Couch and McNabb and Keely Smith. First time, only other time it's happened was 71, Jim Plunkett, Archie Manning, and Dan Pastorini. Then, Edgerrin James went to Indianapolis, which raised a lot of eyebrows, a hold on to your hat type pick. And then Ricky Williams went to New Orleans after the Saints traded every one of their picks this year and 2 of them next year to the Redskins for the right to move up to number 5 and take Ricky Williams. And Mike Ditka immediately went to the golf course. Those right at the head of the draft, we had a flurry of activity. It was mind-boggling in some ways, and a historic day that we'll look back on years from now. A couple of picks that just went, Mel. Tony George, strong safety, Florida, goes to New England, who's had a pretty good day. And then Jeff Hawk, running back, goes to Arizona State. First with George. They got a pretty good defensive backfield in New England.
Well, they got a versatile defensive back coming into that secondary now. And Tony George, they played safety, moved the corner because they had lost Fred Weary and Elijah Williams to the National Football League. Tough kid. Makes a lot of plays in the secondary. Made his mark early on as a special teams enforcer. Great tackler on special teams. So if he's not able to start right away or compete for a job in the secondary, he's going to be a tremendous special teams performer for a New England Patriot team that, you know, can use a quality veteran of the collegiate wars. And this is a guy who should be able to compete for a job right away, as should his teammate, Travis McGriff. How about versatility? McGriff proved at the Senior Bowl he can return punts. He's an outstanding receiver. Small like a Howard Twilley, but very polished. Stepped up this year. You know, a lot of quality receivers have moved on from the Florida Gators. They needed that go-to threat. This year, Travis McGriff was that type of player for Steve Spurrier. And at this stage, you could say maybe a little reach. Maybe he was projected to be a 5th. But productivity this year in the SEC for Travis McGriff, Chris, was outstanding. And his punt return skills, that's potentially something that can help out as a 4th, 5th receiver and a return man.
All right, so we have 2 picks left now, and these are compensatory selections. The end of round 3, and then we'll call it a night. Green Bay, then Pittsburgh, and Coach Gower's already promised us that one would be quick. We'll be back.
Listen carefully to the sound of my voice. You are getting sleepy, very sleepy. Sports news is more important than anything else in the world. It's more important than real news. It's more important than eating. You will watch every edition of Fox Sports News. And don't tell anybody about my plans for world domination. Thank you.
There is the pressure to conform. And then there's the Mazda 626 with a powerful V6 engine. Do not go gently into that PTA meeting.
Hair is big, the tube socks are high, and the action is down and dirty.
Can you dig it?
All the moves are on ESPN Classic, roller derby style.
Ouch.
Right on. The forces of good versus some bad.
Shut your mouth.
So join the pack for a crash course in old school. I'm talking roller superstar.
You said it.
Friday and Saturday late nights only on ESPN Classic. To get ESPN Classic, call 1-800-CLASSIC today.
Polaroid presents ESPN's 20th anniversary draft snapshots.
Right now, it looks like everybody's downgraded Boomer so much for what I don't understand. They talk about attitude. I don't understand that because Boomer has a great attitude as a leader.
Is this really the annual Cardinal reach?
I'll tell you, I think it is a major reach here, Chris. And I really believe that you're talking about stock where he's a quarterback that's going to need a year or two of seasoning.
And what they're saying right now is that Jeff Lageman is one of the top 10 players in this draft. There's no way.
The Colts have a storied history of draft day ineptitude, and it continues here today. During his career at Notre Dame, Rick Meyer threw more touchdowns, more interceptions than touchdown passes. To me, I think he's a risk this high. It's a mistake. You cannot go with Jim Harbaugh and pass up Trent Dilfer. Forget it. That's why the Colts are the laughing stock of the league year in and year out.
Eddie George, I think, is going to be a steal for somebody. Forget this Heisman Trophy rap. I think he's going to be another Marcus Allen. Joe, only one can answer this is obviously Mike Ditka. I totally disagree with the pick.
Opinions never shy.
A lot more aggressive in those younger years.
What
year is this, Harry? What year is this, Harry?
Bulldog of you. You kind of backed off a little bit. You are mellowing out.
Getting not really.
But the hair,
you're a dad. You know, you backed
calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
But the hair,
I think Joe was responsible for that.
I'm going all the way back to '84. I mean, 15 years. The only thing that's changed, it's just not quite as long on the side.
A few more grays, I guess, right, Joe?
I've got a lot more gray.
That's why I let it grow. I'm trying to catch
That's right. Yeah, you put it here a little bit.
You know, so I mean, opinions, well, you study it.
Well, it's fun. I tell you, you look at the reaches, and that's what I think elicits some of the controversy. When you make a comment, they react to it.
Well, they love you.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think, you talk about reaches and stuff. When we let's look at this board now. Let's take a look at where we are.
Were there many reaches? Sub-host.
Were there many reaches in
I
this
haven't
draft?
worked with you all year. You're becoming a host now.
Well, I think when you look at San Diego and Bobby Beathard, there's some reaches there. Look at the board. You see Ricky Williams at the top of the draft board. He dropped down. That's a nice pick for New Orleans, even though they had to give up an awful lot. Chris Claiborne was a nice pick for the Detroit Lions. I thought they did a good job overall moving back into the first round to get Aaron Gibson. You look at Champ Bailey, what Washington did to make sure he came back into the fold after they moved out. I think that was a nice move as well. And everybody looks at Philadelphia, say they should have taken Ricky Williams. Well, Donovan McNabb had a high grade as well. Achilles Smith a little lower because you couldn't keep elevating and elevating. Remember, he started the year as an undrafted free agent. Torrey Holt, nice pick for St. Louis. They're trying to restructure that offense. He's going to be a welcome addition to Dick Vermeil along with Marshall Faulk helping out at wide receiver. Javon Kerr slid a little bit because he's a tweener type. I look at David Boston after Torrey Holt was taken. Give Arizona credit. I kind of questioned that, whether they would come back and be able to get a tackle. They stole L.J. Shelton later in round one, around 22. So they get the wide out, they get Shelton. Anthony McFarland, Tampa Bay, next to Warren Sapp. What a combo that could be. And in Cleveland, first pick in round two, getting Kevin Johnson, a versatile player. Came on strong late after he was a quarterback. Once McNabb sees the position, he moved the wide receiver with good success. And Kevin Johnson is a very skilled kickoff returner.
We have one pick left in round number 3. It's owned by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they're ready to rumble to Gene Washington.
With the final selection in the 3rd round, Pittsburgh selects running back Amos Zaraway from West Virginia.
Good. Boy, Pittsburgh's adding some scoop to their offense, huh?
Well, they are. Zaraway drops just a little bit, but, running backs historically do, Chris. And you look at the productivity over 3 years. Remember, he left as a junior, even though this year wasn't his best. Deep thigh bruise hampered him some, but you see a change of direction, stop on a dime, creative running back, a low center of gravity, strong for his size, good balance. Look at the quickness.